Hi everyone. Today we deal with the way in which cascading effect is wiped out under GST mechanism, and moreover we will be looking onto the different merits of GST. So welcome to my slides. See, this slide purely focus on the way GST treats the ill effects of cascading effect. So first of all, what is cascading effect? Cascading effect is an effect of double taxation where a single transaction is taxed multiple times. To be more specific, when a person purchases a product, first of all, for a material to be converted to a product, it has to undergo a different mechanism. That means the manufacturer has to first of all arrange the raw material, then he has to ensure that the raw material goes through the specific production, and finally, after production process, that particular manufacturer or producer or seller will be getting a final product. So how GST removes the ill effects of taxation in all these areas? Because initially during the VAT system or under the VAT regime, inputs as well as outputs were taxed. See, that's not the way in which a government should administer a tax mechanism, because if we pay tax for inputs, why we should pay tax for output? Earlier, the VAT regime doesn't consider the payment of tax on inputs as well as the payment of tax on output. But the Finance Commission or different finance ministries or different advisory bodies on taxation reform focus that we need a pakka transaction with regard to taxation. And for ensuring that particular transaction with regard to the tax regime, we need a purely renowned or a purely modulated tax regime. And that's what was the reason for the implementation of GST. So, a situation where a single transaction is taxed at each status of production. Moreover, that situation is called double taxation. GST mainly aims at removing this concept of double taxation, because under GST, if we pay tax for input, we should not pay tax for output. Or if we are supposed to pay tax on output, the tax which we have paid on the input will be deducted from the tax which we have to pay for the output. So in that particular manner, see the difference. VAT system considers the taxes on inputs as well as outputs, but GST consider the tax only on the final product. And due to that particular concept, the GST has been considered as a destination based tax. So in that particular aspect, we can assure that the GST tax regime purely removes the ill effects of cascading effect or double taxation which were prevailing under the VAT regime. So all these points, or while we consider all these points, it is evident that the GST stands different from the former tax regimes, mainly VAT or mod VAT. So it all adds to the significance, or it all adds to the value of GST. As you all can see here, there are a few points with regard to the merits of GST. Of course, no cascading effect or double taxation. Why? Because GST consider only the payment of tax at a single point of time. That is, we don't have to pay tax for input as well as tax for output. And second one, various schemes for small, medium and large scale concern. Because we know that first of all, the payment of tax is a forced burden, because the government primarily require funds for its effective functioning. But even though it is a forced burden, we can't avoid. We here stands with regard to the government or the administrative machinery. They can't avoid tax because taxation adds to their major revenue. But GST has considered certain key points with regard to different small, medium scale concerns. Because based on turnover, GST varies or GST fluctuates. And due to that particular reason, even a small businessman can also afford the rates prevailing under GST. And that's another key point of GST. And third one, benefits of registration. If a person or if a business gets registered under GST, it will be getting a numerous number of benefits, because GST authority or the GST council ensures that, first of all business sections or all business units or all business people are registered under GST. And the GST council or the GST authority always ensure that the registered people get clear cut GST allowances if they properly register under GST. So in that particular way, GST stands something valuable to the economy. And moreover, apart from offline transactions, GST focus on to the e-transactions too. Considering you all know that we all make payments or we all receive some product or services through different online mechanism. So in an economy, online as well as offline business constitute the prime revenue of an economy. So in that particular aspect, we cannot differentiate online and offline transactions. Whether it be the offline business scheme or whether it be the online transaction or the e-commerce, GST equally handles or equally ensures the value where both online as well as offline transactions are kept in a well-controlled environment. And further, finally, it promotes economic development. How GST promotes economic development? GST promotes economic development in a way that it ensures that where no individual or no business concern is taxed double. Because GST consider only the relevant tax rates, relevant tax elements, and the relevant tax point. In that particular aspect, everyone will be motivated or everyone will be promoted or everyone will be self-boosted in order to register under the GST taxation regime. So in that aspect, GST ensures that it will not be a further burden to the taxpayer and it motivates all the corners of the economy to get registered under GST. And finally, all these will add to the revenue or to the value of the economy. So in that aspect, we can conclude that GST, when it was introduced in the 2017, and it's on 1st July 2017, its focus stands still because still it's focusing to ensure that GST as a taxation regime fully focus on attaining economic development and economic growth, and at the same time through ensuring that each participant under the GST regime is free from the burden of over taxation. Thank you. Have a great day.